where did you actually see this intruder?
Well, I didn't see him. Not properly. I just caught a glimpse of him.
What? Out in the yard?
Yes.
So what was he doing?
Oh, just moving around out there.
Well, can you describe him?
Well, no. I told you, I only caught a glimpse of him. No, in this area. It frightened me.
And all this happened, what, about an hour ago, yeah?
Yeah.
How about your staff? Did they see or hear anything?
What staff? I can't afford full-time staff these days. There's a girl who comes in. Well, perhaps I'm not the only one. Other people round here might have reported seeing him.
No, I don't think so, love. We've heard nothing.
You mean it's only me he's interested in?
We don't even know if there is anyone yet, do we, eh? I'll take a look around outside, OK?
What's wrong?
Nothing wrong, sir.
No, I thought I'd go up the A10. Do a right at Waltham Cross. Yeah, sure. No, not you.
Right, ladies, I think that's just about everything.
Nothing?
Sorry to disturb your breakfast.
Yeah, sorry about this. This is a complete waste of time. Did you speak to any of the guests?
Yeah, the ones that were up early. They didn't see anything.
I hate places like this.
Seen worse.
They're for lonely people. Lonely people depress me. I'm not joking. I mean it. So let's wrap this up and get back on patrol, eh? Mrs. Strafford? Mrs. Strafford, we've had a good look around both inside and out, and there's no sign of anybody having tried to break in here.
Oh.
Apart from which, you seem to have a very good security system.
Well, that's not going to stop anyone, is it? Not if they've made up their minds to break in and do something terrible, not if they're determined.
Mrs. Strafford, is it possible that one of your guests could have been out in the yard this morning?
Doing what?
I don't know, taking a walk, getting a breath of fresh air?
Why would they want to go out there? It's just a backyard, and it's for staff only.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid without some kind of positive sighting, this is about all we can do for the time being.
All you can do. Well, supposing he comes back.
Don't worry. We'll keep an eye on the place.
No, you won't. You never do.
Mrs. Strafford...
I'm sorry, I have to help out downstairs.
Let's get out of here, shall we?
George, what's going on?
Nothing for you to worry about, Ron.
What do you mean, nothing for me to worry about?
It's all been taken care of. Come on, Rick.
Hang on, this is my home beat.
Oh, is that what they call it?
We had a call, reporting an intruder.
So why wasn't I informed?
Well, because you're never around first thing in the morning, are you, Ron? Not these days.
So what? As home beat officer for this area, I use the hours that work best.
Best for who? Yourself?
Now, wait a minute, George.
Look, we've checked the place out. It's all secure, and the owner's the only one who said she saw anything anyway.
Yeah, if she saw anything, why don't we just give it a blank?
Where's Dorothy now?
Who?
Mrs. Strafford.
She's inside.
So it's Dorothy, is it?
She's downstairs.
Thanks.
Ron and Dorothy, eh? They make a good pair with names like that. Down at Palais, bit of old-time dancing.
You saw this man again, did you?
I saw something.
Outside?
Yeah. So where were you?
Sorry?
When I rang Sun Hill, they said you weren't on duty yet.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Marvellous. They send those two instead. A lot of good they are.
Dorothy, listen.
They treated me like an idiot, as if they had more important things to do than worry about me. It's the police all over, isn't it? I mean, look what happened last time.
Well, that's why I come to see you when I can. It's all part of my job.
What is?
Letting you know that things are being done.
What things? Nothing's being done. I'm supposed to be in business. That's what I've worked hard for over the years. Now look at me.
Have you thought of having a word with your GP?
Have I what?
Well, I mean, if you're feeling a bit depressed.
Have you got any more bright ideas? I'm not depressed. I'm not imagining it. There's someone out there watching me, and that scares me. Anyway, I'm glad you came.
What are you doing here, Ron? I thought you'd be getting a free breakfast up the Kersham.
Oh, no, not me.
No? So, what do you get there for free?
Hey.
Oh, nice-looking woman. About the right sort of age for you. I mean, you're on first-name terms, right?
Move along, will ya?
Make the time wasters pay for wasting time. That's what I always say.
Yeah, well, you always did open your mouth without thinking first, George. Mrs. Strafford is not a time waster.
Oh, no. Well, she wasted my time. She ought to be done for it.
Just get your facts right for a change, son, OK?
What facts?
She was broken into about 3.5 months ago. She was given a very bad time. But then you wouldn't know about that, would you, son?
No, Ron, you're right. I wouldn't know about that.
You take the public in terms of everyday investigation. We never think of a victim, only as a witness.
Who's we?
Well, the majority of coppers.
So you want to change all that then, do you?
No, sir.
Good.
I'd stand no chance of changing it. Anyway, I'm too long in the tooth to be a pioneer, but I do want to provide a decent backup for injured parties on my home beat.
I seem to remember you being Jack the Lad, a bit swift. I think I preferred you that way.
Oh, thanks.
Well, at least I knew where I was. This break-in at the Kersham 3 months ago, who was the investigating officer?
Tosh Lines.
A guest house in the Bullbeck Road area. Didn't she have the place properly secured?
Yeah, only she had the builders working outside at the time. They left the front door open, someone got in and broke into the lady's private apartment. They didn't just thieve it, sir. They wrecked the place, violated it. She never got over what happened.
She live alone, this Mrs.
Strafford.
Strafford?
Yeah, apart from her guess, yeah, she's divorced.
Oh. So what's your involvement?
My involvement? The woman's on my beat. She's depressed.
Sir?
Almost every day she reports seeing an intruder.
Inside the premises?
No, outside. So I usually deal with it. She always asks for me. Only this morning I wasn't available, so someone else was called. That's my involvement. It could all be in her mind. Just her guaranteeing some kind of follow-up. Any kind. Reassurance, if you like.
Yeah. Is that from the police in general or just you?
From the police, of course, sir. Why?
Because that's the kind of problem you're going to have to face when you start playing Village Bobby in the smoke.
What is?
All that loneliness out there. All those people with no one to speak to but themselves, especially in guest houses. It could be that you've become her champion.
What?
And maybe that's the way you like it.
You know, talking with Mr. Conway is like wrestling with a goat. So, where's your driver?
I'm on my own for the rest of the shift.
Dorothy, you know, Mrs. Strafford. What do you think of her?
She seemed to be in a bit of a state. All right state.
Yeah, she is. Mr. Conway was going on about loneliness.
Was he?
Yeah, well, you know what he's like when he does his I've seen it all bit. But you know something? I've been married for 24 years and I still get lonely sometimes. At home, that is. Mind you, kids would have helped. They'd be grown up now, sort of mates. But my wife never wanted kids. Anyway, you know, there's something to be said for guest houses. Do you know that?
No.
Oh, yeah. If they're run properly and in the right part of the world. Of course, a lot of coppers have a go at running pubs when they retire from the force. But I've always fancied a guest house. By the sea. Proper one, you know, ensuite bathrooms, nice little bar, sort you can have a good natter in. Yeah. And good guests. Not them walking wallies with their anoraks and bobble hats.
Ron, I really have to go.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Ron, there's been a call for you from the Kersham. Something else has happened, apparently. But Dorothy only wants to see you. No one else.
The Kersham guest house?
Yeah, on Bullbeck Road. They had a break-in about 3.5 months ago.
That's right, sir. Me and Mike dealt with it.
But nothing came of it.
No, but then I seem to remember there wasn't a great deal of evidence to go on.
What was stolen?
Nothing of importance. It was more of a wrecking job on the owner's flat.
Mrs. Strafford.
Yeah.
What's she like?
Odd.
How do you mean odd?
Oh, she kept ringing me afterwards, day and night. Wanted me to go round there.
Did you?
No. I had a feeling that once you got through her front door, she wouldn't let you go. Cheers, mate. I mean, the whole thing about the break-in didn't feel right, didn't smell right. Oh, it could have been wrong, of course. I mean, All break-ins aren't the same.
How did this case feel to you then?
What, instinct alone?
Yeah.
I felt it was a domestic. As if whoever did it knew what to take, knew what to smash up. I mean, none of the guest rooms were touched.
OK, thanks, Tush. Eileen, could you get me to the local magistrate's court, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Hello. Licensing, please. Thank you. Hello, Andy. Yeah, Derek Conway. Yeah, how are you? Look, could you do me a favour? Could you look through your registers? I'm doing a check on a hotel-cum-guest house called the Kersham. Yeah, on Bulbeck Road. Yeah. Proprietor, Mrs. Dorothy Elizabeth Strafford.
So, I thought we'd better let you know. To keep her quiet, if nothing else.
Let me know about what?
The man in number 5 on the back stair.
What about him?
Well, he's never here.
What's wrong now?
Nothing's wrong, Mr. Watt.
This man, has he caused any trouble?
No? How can he if he's never here?
Well, what am I supposed to be looking at?
Well, there's nothing in here, is there? Except a few bits and pieces.
What's the name of this guest?
His name's Harris.
Mrs. Stopover!
Coming! Can you look up? Yes, Mr. Watt.
So, this Mr. Harris, how long's he been here?
For ages. Before I started working here.
When was the last time you saw him?
Oh, I've never seen him. That's why I thought, well, while you people are here investigating things, I better mention it, just in case.
Just in case of what? I mean, if someone wants to rent a room and hardly ever use it, that's their business.
But they say we should report anything suspicious, don't they?
Who's they?
You, the police. 'Cause of terrorists and that. And if someone's been hanging around outside.
Have you seen someone?
No.
There's too many wicked people in the world.
You don't have to tell me, Pop. I've met a few.
Funny lot of people, too. Especially in this place.
What do you mean? Funny?
Well, funny. Peculiar. Odd. Won't talk to you. You talk to them, they won't talk to you. Nobody can be bothered to have a conversation nowadays, can they? Nobody stays here very long. Always coming and going. You never get to know anybody, not properly.
Do you mind if I take a look at your register?
No, of course not. Why?
The man in room 5. I'd like to know more about him.
Pays his rent regularly. That's all I'm worried about. You locked room 5? Yes, Mrs. Strafford.
So, how does he pay his rent regularly, then?
Who?
This Mr. Harris. I mean, if you hardly ever see him.
Well, if I'm not around, he puts the money in an envelope and leaves it there, in the rack.
Can you describe this man to me?
Well, I thought I saw someone.
Doing what?
I don't know, sort of a movement, like someone climbing or dropping off a wall. I only half saw it, then when I turned to take a proper look, there was nothing. Anyway, I've searched the whole area. I couldn't see anything. Here we are, back door of the coach room.
What was that?
Not you lot again. What's the matter with this place?
What are you doing here, sir?
What am I doing here? I'm a guest, pal. That's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to get in through the back. Oh, come on now. You don't think I'm trying to break into this dump, do you? I don't need to. I've got a key.
To the front door, yes, but not to the back door.
Yeah, well, I'm parked round the back, aren't I?
Where?
Service area around the corner. I figured it'd be a lot safer than leaving it on the street. Only I was wrong, wasn't I? Someone's walked off with me hubcaps, nicked all 4 of them. And there's me due at a business meeting, an important one. How am I going to ring any bells with no hubcaps?
Show us, please, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So, whoever it is outside, you haven't found him yet.
No, we're still looking into it.
Looking into it.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Look, I'm going to need Andy and Theo to take a look at my car.
Yes, well, I need to get away from here. This area was bad enough when I first come here 10 years ago. It's even worse now. You don't get any decent long-term stayers anymore. It's just passing trade, most of it. You don't know who you're letting rooms to.
Have you ever thought of giving the business up?
Give it up.
Yeah. Get a 9-to-5 job somewhere. Perhaps in catering. Let someone else do the worrying for a change.
Give this business up.
Why not?
And live in a house on my own. Oh, no. I want to move to Kent. Buy a guest house in Herne Bay. Seaside lets. I've been planning it for some time.
There you go. One coffee.
Thank you.
Nice little guest house by the sea, eh? Now, where have I heard that before?
You're going back to Sun Hill?
Later, yeah.
Could you do something for me? Run a CRO check on a Mr. J.W. Harris. Age, mid to late 40s, well-built, height, about 6 foot.
What address?
No fixed address.
OK, I'll do that for you. Providing you do me one small favour in return.
Yeah, of course. What?
Don't make a fool of yourself, Ron.
You going now?
Yes, I've got to, but don't worry. I'll get a patrol car.
Well, what about later?
Later?
Yeah, can't you come back this evening?
Of course not. I finish at 5.
Well, why don't you call by on your way home? I'll be here when I've got nowhere else to go.
Have you been working here long?
Me? Why?
I just wondered.
I've been here nearly a year. But that's long enough. I'm leaving as soon as I find something else.
Why's that?
Because I don't like it here.
It's a good enough reason, I suppose. So you would have been working here when the hotel was broken into?
Yeah.
What do you remember about it?
Nothing. I wasn't here, was I? It was my day off.
And are you sure that's got nothing to do with you wanting to leave?
What?
Well, first the break-in, now all these reports of an intruder.
I just told you why I wanted to leave. Anyway, what reports are we talking about? It's only what she says, no one else. She's got intruders on the brain.
Ron! Where are you going? Home.
I'll finish for the day.
No, you haven't. Good night, Eileen. You asked WPC Data to run a CRO check for you, right?
That's right, sir.
Well, you needn't have bothered. I was already checking things myself.
You were what?
On your Mrs. Dorothy Elizabeth Strafford.
You mean she's got form?
As a lunatic and a nuisance, maybe, who knows? But she doesn't have a criminal record.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
But her husband has.
You mean ex-husband?
No, I mean husband. The lady never got divorced. She's still married.
Married?
That's what Tosh Lyons found out at the time. So I decided to ring round and do a bit of finding out of my own.
You're trying to tell me she's a liar?
If you like, yeah.
Well, what's the point?
Stopping such a raving innocent, Ron. You're too old for that. The lady has a very strong imagination. You even said so yourself. She pretends to be seeing would-be intruders. She probably even smashed up her own flat.
What do you mean she smashed up her own flat?
It's obvious.
Obvious to who? Not to me.
Wrong.
Because there's no proof.
Why do you think she does these things? To draw attention to herself, that's why. Because she's lonely. She's probably also seriously disturbed up here. So what's to stop her being a liar as well? She's equipped for it.
So where's her husband now?
Banged up, doing a life sentence for murder.
What?
15 years ago, he and his missus ran a private nursing home in Surrey. That was before the new fire regulations closed them all down. He killed one of the old people in his care for personal gain. He's also got previous, a lot of it, for fraud and extortion. He was sentenced to serve not less than 30 years.
And his name?
John Harris. It seems the wife went back to using a maiden name, Strafford. Apparently, she's never forgotten him. I'm told she still loves him. Wherever she goes, she always keeps a room for him, ready and waiting.
I've seen it.
What?
I've seen one of those rooms.
Yes.
I thought you ought to know, sir, a suspect's been spotted. Possible burglary.
Where?
Out in the Bolbeck Road area, near the Kersham. Sounds like the one I did, so I've cleared it with my boss. I'm going there now.
Right. Thanks, Tush.
Sir. He's admitted 4 other offences.
Do we know him?
No, sir. The other offences include him breaking into the Kersham 3 months ago. Apparently, he only goes for places run by women. Women living on their own.
Is that right, son? You telling us you know these women?
No.
Well, how do you know they live on their own, then?
I watch them, don't I?
You watch them.
All the time. Day and night.
What do you say, you live around here?
No.
So where do you do your watching from?
Everywhere.
Yeah. Then he breaks in, smashes up the woman's room, takes some of her belongings. Isn't that right, son? It's his way of making sexual contact.
All right, get him out of here.
Come on.
Mrs. Strafford. Do you want to tell her, or shall I?
You tell her.
Mrs. Strafford.